What's up, everyone? Today is June 22nd. It's a Tuesday. I'm going to be going over the three or four trades I took today, which are on Roku, SPCE, Virgin Galactics, and Netflix, which was the big winner today. So let's get straight into it. Let's start off with Roku first. I've been trading Roku a lot recently, and I mean, it's pretty evident why. It's in a clear uptrend, volume starting to increase as well. Just highlight that right here. It's just small context clues like this, volume increasing, clear uptrend, which is garnering interest in Roku, and hence why I'm looking to play it. So I was watching one level. It wasn't the most clear level, but I still marked it just in case. The 393 level, we rejected 1, 2, and 3 times. So I was thinking that a strong breakout of 393, we could see 400 and then 2-hour supply here. Okay, so I'm going to be going over, where I entered, why I entered. But before I go down to an intraday time frame, I'm actually going to just do all of the higher time frame analysis on every single stock I played, and then I'll get into the intraday plays and where I entered and why. So SPCE, this is super clear uptrend, no fresh supply above. So I was anticipating that, sorry about that, a strong breakout above this level, 37.75 actually, that was the level I was watching, could easily trigger a move higher. So that was my idea on space. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4 rejections here, actually a fifth one here. So I knew a strong breakout above this could easily trigger a move higher. So that was space. And last one, and maybe the one I've been talking about way too much recently, is Netflix. So Netflix has been super choppy, hence why I haven't traded it in a long time. However, when I see the setup on Netflix finally form, I'm going to be there and I'm going to capitalize on it with good size. So Netflix had a lot of things lining up. We had this longer term trend line break as shown here. On top of that, we had this 503.5 resistance level, which I've been talking about a lot in the past. So 503.5 clear resistance, so many touches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then all above here acted as support as well. So 503.5 is definitely a pivot level, strong breakout above it. We're going to see 90-minute supply, no questions asked, and that's exactly what happened. And look where we reject. So again, supply and demand with support and resistance is probably one of the most powerful strategies you can trade with, in my opinion. So let's go over to Roku first. This is my first trade of the day. I snagged a $2 winner out of this. Honestly, was a good trade in my opinion. However, I entered a bit too late, just like yesterday on Roku. So where I see the cleanest setup is the break of this flag pattern right here, anticipating the 503.5 break. What am I doing? Or not 503.5, the 393 rate. So what am I doing? I'm essentially entering a little bit before the breakout, knowing that there's volume, strength, and momentum backing it up. Look at this volume compared to previous days. Clear relative strength, volume, whatever momentum you want to call it, compared to previous days. So I knew volume was present. Should have taken the break of this flag, entered slightly before the break because this is where retail traders chase. However, I did not do that. I actually entered 2 contracts right here. As we broke on this candle, which in my opinion was a poor entry. The proper entry, in my opinion, should have been the break of this flag pattern. But nonetheless, I entered one here, and it was the same thing as yesterday. I bought inflated premium on Roku, and that's why as we started moving up, the contracts were not moving at all. So what did I do? I took one contract off immediately. Just by seeing that, okay, I got a bad fill, 1, and 2, the contracts aren't moving. I need to protect myself. I need to size down because I'm no longer confident in this trade. So I take the first one off for a 10-cent gain, a very small gain. And then as we start pulling back in, I take my last one off for a 3-cent loss. So in total, I netted $2 on this trade after commissions. So this was just a poorly executed trade. Yes, it ran higher. However, the contracts, they didn't move. When we broke high day here, contracts were actually less than my entry point here. So again, there's probably a lot of option writers involved in Roku lately. So, the proper entry was a break of this flag, sell to inflated premium, final scale out probably somewhere here. However, I kind of chased and good to know that I chased. I recognized that immediately, and then I just took my position off because I was no longer confident. Next one was SPCE. Um, I actually played this twice. I don't think my entries were bad per se, but you can see that we broke this level on very very good volume. So I was actually expecting a push higher. So if I go down to a 1 minute time frame, you can probably see it better. But my first entry was right here. After seeing that we broke the level with good volume, I was expecting another push up. Then we pulled back slightly. Let me go back to a 5 minute time frame now. Pulled back slightly, anticipating this 5 minute RBR. It failed as we started to pull back in. I took it off for a very, very small loss. I think I lost 13 bucks after commission. So this is pretty much a flat trade. It was a little bit extended, not gonna lie. But I knew that space caught momentum after breaking this level. There could clearly be a move to the upside, and there was a move to the upside. I was actually part of this move as well. It's just that you're not going to get everything right 100% of the time. So let me go to a 30-minute time frame, and this is beautiful. This is a clear 30-minute RBNR. Look at this volume first of all compared to previous days. Actually, let me go to a 5 minute. Yeah, right here. Oh no, this is 1 minute. My bad. Yeah. So look at this volume right here compared to previous days. It's way more apparent that there's volume here. Look at this volume spike at 10:10. Unbelievable. So there is a lot of interest in this. So not only is there volume strength and momentum, but there's a clear 30-minute RB&R. This level acted as resistance, this 37.75 level. Guess what it's doing now? It's acting as clear support. So where did I enter? I was watching this 30-minute RB&R form, and I entered slightly before high of day. Entered 5 contracts. I sized down. 2 reasons. One, I've never traded options, or maybe I've traded options a long time ago in the past on space, but not too familiar with this name. And second of all, I've been sizing down just to regain my confidence. So that's why I only played 5 contracts at I believe 1.6, and I scaled out on this way up. I took one off. I'm not gonna go over the exact scale outs, but I did scale out on this move here. My plan was to hold all the way till 40, and that's exactly what I was going to do. However, I had exited my final position after this RBR, and the only reason I did was simply because I got an alert that Netflix was setting up. And one thing I never want to do is manage 2 positions at once. That's just way too stressful for me. I honestly cannot do that. I only like to do one thing at a time. So I was almost certain that space was going to run higher. However, I wanted to be a part of Netflix because I've been waiting on this for a while. So I just took off my final position here, and I netted not too much. I believe it was like $150 gain on around a $600, $700 investment, or 800. So it was a decent win. It wasn't anything small, wasn't anything large. Could have been a little bit bigger, but that's fine. And this is a one I want to talk about. I mean, this was just a beautiful setup. Lately, I haven't been using 5 minutes of consolidation. I've been using anywhere from 1 to 5 minutes of consolidation. But you can see that, as Netflix started increasing in volume here, we were also approaching the 503.5 level. So, there's interest in Netflix. Look at this volume again compared to previous days. The volume for the last 2 days is significantly greater than the volume in the last week or so. So, there's definitely interest on Netflix. So, I have my 503.5 level marked up, and I'm watching for a strong breakout of this level. However, I knew that if a stock is truly strong, we may not get 5 minutes of consolidation. So I was watching, and right here is where I entered, I believe. Oh, no. My entry should have been here at 11:37, slightly before this breakout. However, I had entered on this candle. Again, these are just very, very small things for me to improve on. I entered at 11:38. The true entry should have been at 11:37. Probably would have squeezed a little bit more juice out of this trade. However, it was still a relatively good entry, entered at 11:38. Now, as always, as when I enter on my 1 minute, I immediately switch back to 5 minute. So at this point, I was like, okay, I got a okay fill. keeping in mind that Netflix is a little bit extended on the 5 minute time frame, I was honestly anticipating some sort of 5 minute R, B, and R. However, I entered prematurely just in case we didn't get that 5 minute R, B, and R. So I don't know if that makes sense. Let me try to explain it again. Usually I want to wait for 5 minutes of consolidation. I was expecting that we would have some sort of 5 minute R, B, and R above 503.5. However, just in case we didn't get that 5 minutes of consolidation, I think we got like 3 or 4 minutes of consolidation. I wanted to be a part of the move regardless. So that's why I entered here. And in fact, we did not get the 5 minutes of consolidation. So I took my first one off here. I entered two at, I believe, 4.23.5. Put my limit out at 5, got filled immediately. It was a nice move. My second contract is at break even. And then the 11:45 candle came, and this is what put me up very nicely on the week. So I sold my second contract at, I believe, 6.74. So that's a huge jump from 5. I put my limit at 7, didn't get filled, panicked a little bit, so just marketed out. However, one major piece of improvement is, why the hell would I not wait, not for this 5 minute candle close, but why would I not wait for my target of 90-minute supply to get hit? Institutions have their sell orders tier. They're going to gravitate retail traders to move price all the way up here, and then they're going to sell, which is exactly what they did. So why would I not sell here? And why would I not sell all the way here? And why the hell would I sell at the mid of this candle? I could have easily got another 100, 120 bucks out of this trade. However, due to my lack of patience, I kind of suffer the consequences. But, regardless, this was a very good trade. I caught like a $5-6 move on Netflix, netted about like 300 bucks, I believe, a little bit more than that. And I ended the day about $436 plus. So honestly, it's been a great start to the week. I kind of covered the setups I'm looking at yesterday for the remainder of the week. Some of the main ones are Tesla over 633, waiting to capitalize on this one. Square worked out. No, not Square, my bad. Snow was the setup I was watching, worked out beautifully above 250. However, I was in space at the time, wasn't able to capitalize. ETSY, I talked about this. This was like a sleeper pick. Above 172 looked really nice. However, I just wasn't convinced at the volume in the morning, and this was way too early off of the open, so I unfortunately had to let this one go. TTD also worked out. However, the volume compared to previous days wasn't anything significant. So I personally avoided. It did work out. However, I still don't think I would have entered this in hindsight just by that volume. And a couple of other names I'm watching, Fubo over 34. AMC still hasn't set up. So essentially all I'm doing is I have my levels drawn out. Now I'm just waiting for price to come, and then I'm going to execute the trade. Don't want to make it more overcomplicated than that. But I'm going to end the video here. 13 minutes, reviewed the 3 trades. Today was a very good day. One last piece of advice I want to go over is, so originally I was playing with 1.5k position sizes, which is a lot, especially for my account. I was sizing up like crazy. And I remember one week where I traded with that size, I netted about 800 to 850 bucks, which is, it's not a bad amount, it's a good amount. And then I lost a good amount of money, gave almost all of it back because I was revenge trading. I wanted more with 1.5k. I thought I'd be able to make more. I took unnecessary trades, gave a lot of the money back. So essentially what happened is I wasn't confident with my 1.5k position size. So then what happened is I took out 500 bucks from my account, just to remind myself that, okay, I'm making money in this market. It's a very hard time to make money. I just want to reward myself. So I take out $507 from my account, and I size back down to 800 or $850 position sizes. So I basically cut my position size in half, you could say, which is it's a pretty big deal. I was playing 3 contracts which were priced at like 6.4, and now I'm only playing 2 contracts around like 3 or 4. However, despite sizing down by half of what I used to play, I've netted over 1k in the last 3 days. So I'm playing with half of my position size. However, I made over $1,000 in the last 3 days, just because I'm confident, I'm calm with the position size that I'm playing. I'm not forcing trades anymore. I'm waiting for the setups to come to me. And if I can consistently trade like this for the remainder of the week, And for the next week, then I will be looking to increase my position size back to 1.5k ish at the start of July. And I want to get comfortable now playing with bigger position sizes because I really started figuring out what my edge in this market is. But I'm going to end the video here. I hope you guys have a good remainder of the week. Hopefully we can catch some of the other setups together as a team.